Yeah, listen, I'm a coffee fiend, so you don't gotta sell it to me. That's
Nuggets is like my family.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Nifty Nuggets Drive-Thru. Please make sure you subscribe to our channel and like this video. If you want to find more information about us, you can follow us on Twitter @NuggetsNifty. And you can also download this episode on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. We hope you enjoy the AMA.
Hey, welcome Nugget family to another dope event here. Today we bring you the Brewies AMA hosted by your very own Nifty Nuggets. We have Lane and Alex DC from the team. Okay, if you can let us know about your roles with the project Brewies, any previous experience that you had in the NFT space before starting your project, and how you come up with the idea for Brewies and then start working on it.
Of course. I'm just gonna start, and then after that, Alex will tell you something about his role. So I'm the co-founder of the Brewies NFT Project, and a little bit about my history in general. I have been working in the Web2 space before. I have been doing online business for about 4 years now, successfully, and I got into NFTs. I think it was around 8-9 months ago. And the whole topic really sparked my interest. I noticed that, in the NFT space, the communities are way stronger compared to the Web2 space. So I got more and more into the Web3 space, and I started trading NFTs and getting to know the whole process of NFT projects, the whole nature. And it was easy for me to make the switch because compared to Web2 business, I think Web3 is just way more interesting. The team bonding is way stronger, and this is when I decided to found the Brewies project with my co-founder, who's called Phil. And when it comes to the idea, I think it's easy to tell that we were really focused on coffee. We noticed that in the NFT space, we didn't find a real community that is focused on coffee, of coffee lovers, and bringing people who are passionate about coffee together. So this is where we got the initial idea from. And when it comes to the art, actually our head artist is somebody that I know in real life. We have been working before together, not in terms of art, but I knew that she's really good with art because she's studying in a university in New York, fine art school. And I just asked her if she would be interested to do the art for Brewies. Until this point, it was just, a very broad idea on what we want to do. And she delivered multiple concepts of these little cup heads. So she got the idea from the Cuphead game, and she delivered multiple concepts. And we saw that the art that she made had huge potential. And this is where the team building kind of started.
Yeah, and a little bit about me. I'm a community manager slash advisor slash pretty much Swiss Army knife of Brewies. I kind of do everything. Today I'm filling in for Phil, the other founder. I've been in the market for about 6 months now. I created an alpha slash NFT community called Beyond Bullish. We have about 100 plus founders in there, advisors, mods, community manager, pretty much everyone. That's full on Web3. And yeah, that's my background.
Does that community have an NFT?
No, we don't. So we're always going to be a free to enter Discord. So I kind of went the other direction from doing a free or an alpha pass, because that creates a barrier of entry for some people, and we always wanted it to be fully inclusive to everyone.
And is it open to the public?
No, only a select few who really want to go full time into NFTs, are passionate. It doesn't really matter the level of experience, just if they're a good person, good vibes, want to learn and grow within the space.
I like it. So please share with us more about what Brewies is as an NFT project, as a utility to its holders, and as its vision of what it's working to accomplish.
Yeah, definitely. So when we started the Brewies, we were, of course, thinking about utility for the holders when it comes to coffee, right? So we were creating a lot of different concepts. And we wanted to provide, on one side, we wanted to provide digital utility, but on the other side, we also wanted to provide IRL coffee utility. So this is also where our roadmap is coming from. If you have checked out our roadmap, which you can either see in our Discord server or in our Medium article, you will see that our short-term deliverables are more in the direction digital utility. For example, right after Mint, we will develop a whitelist marketplace, a brew token, so that the community has the possibility to basically get whitelist for other projects without grinding, because we really believe that you should be able, without grinding, to have the possibility to get whitelist for other projects. And this is also what we decided for our community. And when it comes to the long-term deliverables of the utility for the breweries, we have decided together with the community that we will be releasing IRL brewery coffee beans that we will also vote on with the community. So the community has the right to vote on different kind of beans, different kind of coffee accessoires. For example, there will also be an IRL mug drop. And this is the IRL utility side of things. So we have these two pillars, basically, the digital utility and the IRL utility that is all about coffee. And for example, we have also thought about different giveaways that we can do. Let's say purchasing 100 Starbucks gift cards, because our community, as you can maybe guess, is really passionate about coffee, and just giving them away to the community, stuff like that. This will be the connection or the bridge, so to say, between digital and IRL.
Now, I understand that you say that the reason for coffee is because you felt there hasn't been something like that in the space where you have a community of coffee enthusiasts and connoisseurs. But
Right.
why coffee? Besides the fact that it's not something already done in this space, why did you choose coffee?
I think it is, so first of all, because we as the founders are really passionate about coffee. This is the first reason. The second reason is because we know a lot of people in the Web3 space who are running on coffee, basically. People who are really in depth in the Web3 space are spending hours every day, right? And the thing that most people consume on a daily basis as the first thing in the morning is coffee. So coffee is like the second most consumed fluid after water. And we have seen that there's a huge opportunity in terms of creating a community around that. And second of all, because people who drink coffee often are usually quite passionate about it, about the quality, about the different types of coffee that there are. And this is like the main reason why we decided to go that route, because we just wanted to build a tight-knit community of coffee lovers. This is like the community side of things. And second of all, because we have developed a very attractive art concept together with our artist that represents that.
Now, you said that the artist went with Cupheads, inspired by what previous IP?
So maybe you know the game, the Cuphead game, where
Cuphead game. Okay.
it's quite an old game. But I think some people may know it, and this game inspired her to create a character with a cup as their head. Of course, it's not like exactly the same. She changed a lot of things and made it really individual to the Brewies, but the overall concept came from the Cuphead game.
Right. I think Silverwolf might have shared something from it.
Yeah, I'm looking at that now.
Dope. Okay, so I'm guessing you gave your artist complete artistic liberty to choose what he or she wanted to go with for the theme.
Yes, that's right. What we told her, because the founders are not really we are no artists. So the only thing that we told her starting out is that it should look cute. It should have some attractive pastel colors, and this is all that we told her. And from this point on, she just made a few different concepts, and we had a lot of sketches. It took us like 2 weeks actually to nail down the final version that we all were happy with, but I think it was definitely worth it.
Nice. So can you give me a step by step of those deliverables? So we mint our Brewies NFT. What does the holder expect next, and then next and next, like a step by step of the utility that's already been shared, not necessarily any future plans that you haven't actually promised.
Yeah, of course. So after you minted your brewery, you will first, so there will be a snapshot coming of all holders who never listed. So let's say you mint a brewery and you do not list it on Opensea. There will be a snapshot coming, and then everybody who is included in that snapshot, everybody who never listed their brewery on Opensea, will get a free IRL mug with their NFT on it. And I think this is something really unique. We were facing some challenges when it comes to the logistics side of things, because of course we need to deliver the mug worldwide. But we are very positive, and we solved already a lot of challenges that there were, so that every brewery holder who never listed their NFT will be able to claim their free mug with their own NFT on it. So this is like the short-term incentive, so to say, for people to hold their NFT. Secondly, there will be, like I said, the whitelist marketplace coming. This is the next thing after the IRL mug drop, where people can earn brew token through holding their NFT. So we are like changing the concept of staking, because we think that you should be able to earn token, not necessarily by sending your NFT to another wallet, but by just holding your NFT, which is essentially the same, because you still have it in your own wallet, and people will be able to earn brew token through that, and then use these token, for example, in the short term, to acquire whitelists from other projects. And this is like the second step that we are planning to do short term. After that, maybe you have checked our roadmap. We are also acquiring land in the sandbox, where we are planning to. Actually, we have already a few sketches. We released that on Twitter as well. A Web3 coffee shop where the breweries can hang out. They can, join the sandbox land. They can hang out. They can chat. And we are right now also developing more ideas on what we will do with this land piece, so that our holders will get the maximum benefit. So this is like the next step on the roadmap, the third step. And then the fourth step, the long-term vision, is the IRL coffee beans, so that people will be able to use their brew token to claim their IRL coffee that will be delivered to their home.
Okay, so we have the tokens. Will those be tradable, like on a DEX?
We didn't plan, honestly, right now to make them tradable. The tokens should be used within the Brewies ecosystem, which is for the whitelist marketplace, and also for later on acquiring, for example, gift cards, different things like IRL goodies, coffee accessories, the beans. This is what the brew token is for, essentially.
Okay, so we've seen that with other tokens, kind of like Goop from Logix. It won't have a liquidity pool, and it won't be tradable on a DEX. It'll just be used for any of your marketplace or any of the utilities that any website you make for your holders, so they can be able to use it and cash it.
Yes, correct.
Now, the fourth of your steps would be the beans. Now, how have you guys decided to, especially given the fact that it could be logistically very challenging, given how spread out your NFT holders can be, how have you, I guess, worked on how you would be able to facilitate that?
Yeah, that's a good question. And on that, I want to tell a little bit more about my background. So I'm coming from the retail space and e-commerce space, which means I was selling goods worldwide for like 4 years. So I know a things or two about logistics and shipping products. So what we planned is, because we know, for example, we have in our community a lot of people from the United States, we have people from Canada, we have people from Asia. So what we planned on is to produce a certain amount of beans, of packages, and put them into different warehouses, for example, in Asia, in Canada, and in the United States. And then we will see how fast the beans are moving, in which warehouse. And depending on that, we will increase the supply in the warehouses where it's moving the fastest.
When did you guys launch the project as far as your Twitter and your Discord?
That's a good question. I think it was around middle of February. This is where we launched the project, like made the first post. At this point, we already had like the base character, we had the base art, but we changed a lot of things along the process. For example, we decided to animate the whole collection, which our community actually voiced the desire to have a fully animated collection, and this is why we started working on that. We hired a team of animators, and I think it was a huge benefit for the project that we decided to see what the community wants and then act according to that. So to answer your question, it was around middle of February that our very, very first post came online, and then our Discord launched, I think, 2 weeks after that.
Okay, can you kind of started on that about how you derived the idea and decision to make it animated from your community, but can you tell us a little bit of that journey from February to where we are now today? What's that journey been like with your community as far as feedback, as far as anything that your community has added to the project, like if you've actually derived any talent from your community, as well as what does maybe like something as simple as what is your community saying today when we look at this really, really tough market that we're facing, especially for new projects launching?
Yeah, I think it's important to touch on that. So I'm gonna just go touch on that first about the current market situation. So we actually had an AMA yesterday with our community, and we were talking about it as well. So what we are doing right now is we were planning to mint on May 20th. And I think this is enough time from today to kind of see how the market will be moving, if there will be a stabilization phase, how everything will be going. And of course, we want to launch the project in a time where it's beneficial for the project and for the holders, right? We do not want to launch in a time of fear, so to say. So what we're doing right now is we are analyzing the market and acting kind of out of that. So we are also adapting the prices, because maybe 7-8 months ago, you were able to launch a non-animated collection for 0.15 or 0.2 in mint price, and we are very well aware that right now this is just not possible anymore, and we have adapted the mint price accordingly, which was announced yesterday in our AMA. It will be 0.06, which I think is very affordable. But again, we will be watching the market situation. We know, a lot of people have some uncertainty about how everything will be going. And of course, we hope that within the next few weeks, everything will turn around and there will be a stabilization phase. But this is like the two things that we're doing. We are open to delay the mint date if the market will still not be in the best position. And we have, we have set a very low price so that it will be affordable for everybody.
The low price can help. I personally am not sure, and this is not particular to your project, this is just in general. I personally do not think that in this market, a low price will be enough. Again, that's not particular to your project, that's just in general. I think that the space is very shaken and very rattled right now. People are taking profits on a lot of their blue chips to tether it because they're concerned of not just, here's where it gets interesting. People are not just concerned, it's like a double whammy about the loss in value in their NFT projects. People are also concerned about the loss of ETH value that they already have. Like stuff that I wanted to buy a week ago for 17 ETH or 14 ETH are today 17 ETH, but still cost me a lot less in US dollar value. So I've noticed that people have been very concerned about that. And it's made it where I'm concerned about like all of the new projects that are coming out. I'm like, do have contingencies. Like, for example, excuse me, have you considered what you may do if you don't sell out, or if you sell out a very small percentage of your total supply, which I see is 6,666, correct?
Yes, correct.
Have you discussed contingencies, not just, which I think is very smart, not just reading the market to see if you even launch on the 20th. Also, hey, we did decide to launch. We only sold 25% of our collection out. Have you discussed those contingencies and what you may do to be able to continue the project and finalize the roadmap?
Yeah, we have definitely discussed that in several team meetings, and how we want to ensure that the project will have a successful mint, which essentially, means usually a sellout, is first of all whitelist, or how it is called for us, brewlist allocations. Right now we have allocated, I think it is 3,600 brewlist spots for the whole collection, and everybody as of now will be able to mint one. So we are still not done with all of the collabs that we have lined up. We still have a lot of collabs to go. So this is the first thing that we are doing to ensure that there will be a healthy amount of the collection we're selling out, is allocating whitelist. And we think that, for example, over allocating like 5% is totally fine, because it gives the project more possibilities. It gives more people the possibility to mint, and the project more possibility to sell out. So this is the first thing that we are working on right now. The second thing is that we discussed, of course, if we will see that at this point the market is not in a stable phase, we are still open to cut the collection size by a little bit. So these are like the two things that we are doing and to make sure that the project will sell out and we can fulfill the roadmap, and every holder will be happy with their brewery.
And Lane, one thing I want to add to that is you said the brew list could mint one. That number is actually two. So those 3,600 people will be able to mint two. So yes, we're over allocating just a little bit, but I feel like it's justified in the current state of the market with everything that's been going on.
Yeah, no, I hear you. You're probably not going to get a lot of fans saying that you're over allocated, but I appreciate the honesty, and I do think that in this environment, more projects than not will have to over allocate if they intend.
Yes, and yeah, 100%. And we announced this in our AMA last night, and we were expecting to get, a little bit of pushback on that, but we were very pleasantly surprised with the response of the community. They thought it was a great idea. We're also going with a shorter mint time frame to induce a little more FOMO, to get people in, people minting as quick as possible. One thing that we're also willing to do, and we haven't made a final decision yet, is cut supply a little bit more, because 6,666 could be perceived as being on the high end of things. So we're always willing to readjust and pivot due to the market conditions. I mean, it's been a slaughter fest. Everyone knows it. And as a project, you need to pivot and readjust and find out what works best for the project and the community.
Yeah. That's pleasant to hear from me personally. I'm going to start touching on some of the community questions along with my own. Meme the Witch King of Nugmar, I'm going to do your question. Guys, don't get used to it. We got to do it through the app now. Shout out to the devs and the dope app that they created for Nifty Nuggets, which will also be available for other projects. But for now, I'll do your question too. Meme the Witch King of Nugmar asks, we see a lot of whitelist marketplaces right now, and quite often the whitelist spots available are quite disappointing. What will be your process for getting top tier / hype projects on the marketplace?
Yeah, so I think this is where me and Indigo come in. We're both pretty well connected in the space. We know a lot of big names. We work a lot on the collab side of things, so a lot of that is building relationships and rapport with people. We also have the Beyond Bullish Alpha group as well, where we have a lot of big founders in there. So we have good relationships with these people, and we plan to leverage our network to benefit the Brewies community.
So you feel like you have, is it fair to say, the context to be able to support acquiring highly sought after whitelist for your marketplace?
Yes, absolutely. That's one thing. When I started, it was very important to me to build a really strong network of well-connected people, because you guys, you can help each other tremendously by doing that. You can help other projects by doing that. I just see tremendous value in having a really strong network. And yeah, that's where we can really provide value back to our communities that we work with and work for.
Oh, I see Nugmar actually got it in the app. Shout out to you. Next question. Where will the coffee be harvested from? Will it be fair trade or organic?
Yeah, that's a great question, because when we came up with the breweries, the first thing that we said that we want to have for our community is fair trade coffee, 100% fair trade. When it comes to organic, we are still looking for the best possible, best possible beans that we can get. So far, we have discussed that the coffee will come from the United States or from South America. So we are looking at a few different options right now. It will be definitely 100% fair trade, because maybe you know that we are also donating money to coffee farmers right after mint, because we know how coffee farmers are working. There are coffee farmers, I think around 30% of all coffee farmers are living below $100 per year, which is, for most of us crazy to think about. But we want to give back to these farmers, and this is why we also will only source fair trade coffee.
Nice. Alex, I touched on your profile. I see you sporting the three-landers. I've been accumulating them. I've stopped.
Yeah, now's a good time, man. Now's a good time. I'm actually really surprised with how they've held up through all of this madness. Also, I wanted to mention your community is fucking hilarious. Like, you guys, you have a really, really funny community here. I'm just watching the chat go. People are all just constantly cracking jokes.
These guys and gals are crazy. I like to disown them. I don't know them. And I don't speak for them either. But yeah. So I've been accumulating some swing. I'm messing around. I've been accumulating some three-landers, but I've actually stopped. The downturn in the market is so much that it put me to wonder, like, how far do we go before we see a bottom? And that's not particular to three-landers. That's particular to the market, period. Like, how far do we go before we see a bottom? Because
At the end of the day, I think the best strategy is just average in. I think you just dollar cost average into these projects you think are strong and will do well long term. Also, this goes for crypto as well. We're seeing just chaos in that market as well. And for me, I'm just averaging in. I'm buying on a bi-weekly basis, and if the price drops, then so be it. But the stuff I'll be buying, I'll be long on, and that's kind of my strategy.
that's the stuff I'm buying. The stuff I'm buying is stuff I'm long on. I'm just like, you could play the average down thing, and I think that's smart. I'm more like, do I just wait and let this thing to bottom out? Maybe even pay more to see it recover. And I want to segue that into you, Lane. So it sounds like you and Alex are familiar with this market. You know how this market intends. You know how brutal this market can be, and how investor traders look at this market. It's like it's either a flip or it's easy, or it's either a long hold, with the flippers being the vast majority of people in the space. With something so niche as attempting to build a community of coffee lovers, what do you think is like your main value proposition, or what you intend to do different to hold those people's attention? Because that's where the value is.
Yeah, definitely. I think the best thing that we can do at this point when it comes to the market situation and keep our community together and keep people calm is to analyze how everything is going and never act out of fear, but rather analyze the situation and make an educated guess on how to move forward. I think this is the most important thing. We do not want to rush something. We do not want to rush the mint or the launch of the project, because we really like every team member put a lot of time, a lot of sweat and tears into this. So this is why we are open for any changes that are to come, and we are adaptable to everything. We do not have a set in stone date. We like nothing is set in stone. We are adapting to everything and also listening to our community. I think this is like the most important thing that we can do.
Yes, and to add to that, I think what our community realizes is that we're not just planning to be an NFT project. Like, we're looking to build a brand here, something that's going to last. And I think that's one of the most important aspects of the long-term vision is the IRL coffee beans, and the future products we look to roll out down the road. I think that's a ton of value in itself, especially as interest in the Web3 space is kind of going down. Web3 utilities won't be as important to people, I think. And I think having IRL utilities can really be beneficial during unstable market conditions.
Yeah. Listen, if you can get people coffee cheaper than they pay for it, and they know they're going to save money, yeah, they might buy your NFT for sure, especially in the downturn.
Yeah, no doubt.
Exactly. And I think another, like when it comes to IRL utility, another big difference of somebody purchasing their coffee in a store versus somebody joining a community, voting on the beans, knowing where the beans are sourced from, being included in the whole process. I think it's just a different feeling, because you as the community member are an important part of deciding where are the beans coming from, what is the taste of the beans, what is the strength. You can decide on the brand. So as a community member, you can build the brand rather than just being a consumer.
Yeah, listen, I'm a coffee fiend, so you don't gotta sell it to me. I'm actually hoping to like lay off the coffee. Some not so nice things about coffee, but we'll leave that for another day. One of our community members asked, "Are all the breweries animated?" But I believe you answered that they all are, correct?
Yes, they are all animated. I think we announced that around, when was that? Maybe 2 weeks ago. We announced that, and we got a very positive feedback from our community and Twitter, because we think that the collection, how it is looking like right now, we have 250 trades plus. I think overall it's like 275, something around that, and they are all fully animated. So we hired like a full animation team, and they helped us with everything. And I think the art turned out pretty good. And maybe some people are looking at the art and think, okay, this is like an art-based project, because you may think that if you see animated art, but actually we wanted to give our community the best from both sides when it comes to utility, but also when it comes to the art. Everybody should be able to look at their NFT and just be happy with what they have.
How have you decided to go about the like art, your traits, your rarities? Can you share with us about that?
Definitely. So I can tell you a little bit about our different traits. We have released a graphic on our Twitter as well, where it's showing the different traits that we have, like a brewery anatomy. You can feel free, everybody can feel free to check that out after the AMA. So we have, first of all, the head, which is the cup. We have the eyes as a separate trait, the mouth, the straw that is sitting inside the cup. We have the hands, and the hands are either holding an item or they are, just doing something without holding an item. We have the outfit. And when it comes to the outfits, we were really thinking about, okay, what are there for different people who like coffee? Maybe there are developers, maybe there are people who go to school, there are artists. So we try to display different characters that we have in real life, of people who like coffee onto the NFT outfits, if that makes sense. So we have a lot of different outfits. And then we have the background as well. And the background is animated. So there are simple backgrounds with only colors, but also there are a few more exciting backgrounds. For example, like a cyberpunk style background, a park. So we have kind of mixed IRL characters with a little bit of fantasy.
Do you know what's the total number of your traits by chance?
Yes, it's plus minus 2, it's like 275.
And are you breaking your rarities down normally, like epic legendaries, top 10%, or is there something else we should know?
We are having rarities, yes, especially when it comes to the outfits and the backgrounds. We have legendary pieces. These were actually the first pieces that were released on our Twitter. There are, I think, 10 legendary ones in total, and these are completely hand-drawn. So they are not generated. The artist actually was hand-drawing them, each and every one, and they are also hand-animated. So they are kind of to be seen separately because they have an extremely detailed art style. And these are the most rare ones. So these are the legendaries, and then we have rarities within the collection as well.
So you have 10 legendaries. I'm guessing those are your one of ones.
Yes.
Anything else you can share with us about rarities besides those?
So we have not officially released more information on rarities.
Okay.
I think we will. Yeah, I think we will do so maybe in the next week. So as of now, this is kind of all that I can share. Like I said, there will be a lot of rarities when it comes to the outfits because we have some, freaky outfits, so to say. We have stars, we have astronauts. These are like the more rare outfits. And then we have, for example, different kinds of hoodies, stuff like that will be more common.
Well, they say art is subjective, but I feel like you guys did a great job on the art.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. It seems that I've touched on all of the community questions, and you've definitely satisfied all the questions that I'm curious about. So I just want to leave it to you, Lane and Alex now. Anything that you think that we haven't discussed or something that we did but you'd like to elaborate on, feel free. The stage is yours.
Lane, would you like to go first?
Let me maybe check in the Brewies AMA chat what people are. Maybe people want to know something that I could touch upon. Seems like there are a lot of traits in there. Yes, there are, like I said, 275 traits. So the collection overall will be like each. Our goal was that each NFT looks completely different from each other. This was our initial goal, and I think we fulfilled that pretty well. So that everybody's NFT, no matter the rarity, will look very unique due to the amount of traits that we have there. What's the second?
Lane, did you mention on the part where we plan to give back to coffee farmers?
Yes. Yes. I mentioned that like 5 minutes ago or something that we are
Okay, sorry.
like one of the first things one of the first things that we want to do, not only the IRL mug drop, but also to give back to coffee farmers. Almost nobody is thinking about where our morning drink is actually coming from, right? We are just buying the beans and we are kind of taking it for granted, but almost nobody's thinking about where the beans are actually coming from, and what is the whole process of actually harvesting the beans and then drinking coffee. It's a very complicated process, and the coffee farmers are highly underpaid, unfortunately, in most countries. And this is why we decided to donate an amount right after the mint.
Yes, and along with that, I wanted to add a statistic in here. Over 30% of coffee farmers are living on $100 or less a year. So that's absolutely insane to me. And yeah, after mint, we plan to find a good sourcer of the beans. Ideally, one that is substantially underpaid, and give them a payment that makes sense. So that's another way that we plan to get back post mint.
Got it. Bear with me. Normally I like to give a shout out to whoever brought your project into Nifty Nuggets. At present, we're not sure. Do you guys know? Was it J-Dog potentially?
Yes. I remember actually Wiz connected us. Wiz from NFT Kingdom. He he opened a group chat and then he suggested doing an AMA. We had a collaboration with Wiz, I think, like a week before he connected us. That went pretty well, and I think this is where it all started.
Got it. I'm not sure Wiz is a Nug. Nonetheless, shout out to Wiz. I know that he is partners with Safs, who is a Nug, so shout out to Safs as well. And shout out to J-Dog for your involvement in bringing Brewies to AMA with the Nugs. Any last words, Lane, Alex? Feel free.
No, I'd just like to thank you guys for coming to the AMA, and thank you for hosting us. It was an absolute pleasure, and this is definitely after seeing oh my gosh, the AMA chat's hilarious. After seeing all the people in the chat, this is definitely a community I'd like to be a part of.
If you like what they're saying in the AMA chat, I take all the credit for it. If you don't, I disown them. They're entitled to. Let's have that for the record. Lane, any last words?
Yeah, I just wanted to say I really like the Nifty Nugget community, and you guys are of course welcome to join the Brewies community as well. We have our Discord open right now. It will eventually close within like the next few days, so anybody who wants is welcome. We will be happy to have you, and apart from that, thank you so much for inviting us. It was a pleasure talking to you. You had some great questions, so it was awesome to chat.
Yeah. Y'all are dope. Thank you. Good luck with the project. Feel free to drop a link in the AMA chat so that we can get some nugs in there and get some nugs being holders in your project. I know that we got some coffee fiends in here. I myself am one.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for hosting.
Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day or night, wherever you are. And Nuggets, always appreciate it. Always thank you guys for coming to watch one of our AMAs, actually listen to one of our AMAs. Always appreciate it. And that's going to cap off another dope AMA. Brewies, hosted by Nifty Nuggets.
Thank you so much, Edric.
Take care, everyone. Thank you.
Have a nice day, guys. And hopefully see you soon in our Discord server. We'll be happy to have you. And of course, one last thing that I wanted to add, you have still a lot of possibilities to get brew listed. We still have brew list open, and we have daily community events that Alex is actually hosting together with our other team members. So whenever you want to join in, feel free to do so. Like I said, we have daily events.
That's nice. Keeping it fun. I like that.
Yeah, and apart from that, if there are no questions anymore, it was a pleasure meeting you guys, and hopefully we'll see each other soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
If you like this AMA, reminder to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can get access to our future AMAs. We also have a main YouTube channel where we are covering wider topics in the crypto and Web3 sphere. So if you're interested in any of that information, please make sure to find the Nifty Nuggets on YouTube. You can also follow us on Twitter at NuggetsNifty, and make sure to leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. We'll see you all next time.